Hello, I'm Patrick Thomas, and welcome to Arkansas Live. Yes, you heard me right. This is Arkansas Live. Live from Studio 25, and I'm hoping this will be a rather short segment, and it maybe my graphics in the background will stay awake. I'm going to try to take my time with this. This is very serious, and I don't want to overplay this as being, I don't want to be too dramatic. I just did a promotional video, and I think I was pretty dramatic. I think I've since calmed down just a little bit, but folks, I hate to say things like I'm just not happy, because normally when you say stuff like that, people say, "Well, oh, poor you." No, it's not about my own personal emotions. It's I'm saddened over what is going on in this town. Now, some are going to say, "Oh, you're having post-election blues or something like that." Folks, it's got nothing to do with any post-election blues. I'm just not getting back in this game from having taken a break. This is August. Can't even tell you what day it is right now. I'm so flustered. This is Friday, August 23rd. I got the Leader News here. I've been so busy this week that I haven't even had time to bring to the citizens of Jacksonville the current ladder talks that I do regarding the Leader News stories. There's a lot to do, and I will probably go back at some time and do this, but this is something that I just need to get out there. September 5th, I'm expecting city council chambers to be full of people. And I've only seen that city council chambers once before, several years ago, full of people where it was almost standing room only. I don't know, maybe I might be wrong about that. Maybe some things just don't matter to some people. I don't mind sharing with you some of the things that I say in my private life. I find myself oftentimes doing things that I expect others to do. And I do it for free. I'm a concerned citizen. Some might call me a pot stirrer, but I like to think that I can articulate the issues. I like to think that I can speak to you with an educated voice. I like to think that I can speak to you, the citizen of Jacksonville, and if anybody in the state of Arkansas is seeing this, I like to think that I can speak to you as someone who is sincerely capable of bringing you information that you deserve to know about. And if some of you want to call me a keyboard warrior or anything like that, I'll be the first to let you know. I say a lot of these things to people's face. This is just a methodology to get the word out a little bit more. For those of you who are new to Ladder Talks is a soapbox a little bit taller than a soapbox is what I like to say. Is what I like to call it, because it has a further reach. And some of you might say, "Well, get on to the point. I don't have but just a minute or two." Well, that's the problem sometimes. Folks, this is a show. And I don't want to say things like Rush Limbaugh might say, and I don't even want to try to compare myself to Rush Limbaugh. This is not purely entertainment. But folks, this is a show. And if you want to subscribe to what I have to say, then subscribe. And sit back and get you some popcorn and experience the show. I know if you're looking for answers and you want me to give the answer right now, I'm not going to have all the answers that you're always wanting. But I want to present to you in a commentary format information that I think you ought to know about. Now, I'm going to keep this short. I haven't really been paying attention to the clock. If you ever see me look up, that's because I'm looking at the clock that's up above here. So this subject of City Council meeting on September 5, the first City Council meeting of the month, unless they reschedule it, will be at 6 p.m. You want to be there. Someone told me earlier today, I can't tell you what's going on, but it's going to be big. And I'm like, okay, I'll be at the City Council meeting myself. And then I found out what was going on. And I called this individual back and I said, since you couldn't tell me, and you're saying it's going to be big, was it this? And he said, yep, that was it. If they have this meeting, there's going to be some pushback. You're going to see your city council members probably finally doing their job. And I hope they maintain their professionalism, the civility. I said earlier in a promotional video, I expect there to be some good back and forth because, quite frankly, in years past, we've never had the back and forth that I think a healthy city council should have. I've seen nothing but a bunch of yes men on our city council. And for those of you who agree with me that we need a good balance and a good mix, you'll understand what I mean when we don't need just a bunch of yes men on city council. We need people who are asked questions and stand up for the principles that they may believe in. They may believe in right or wrong. They're standing up for what they promised their constituents and the objectives that they set out to meet to get onto the city council. I have some respect for that. But if I happen to align with their opposition, then I'm going to be behind their opposition. Without telling you what it's all about, I will say I'm not sure the methodology of the proposed achievement is all on the up and up. I'm being told that there was a secret meeting in the last day or two, and it involved city council members. I'm also being told that not only did it involve some city council members, but it involved the mayor. Now, whether or not they had a quorum or whether or not they could really legally do anything of that, I don't think so. But apparently they had a meeting, and I don't know, maybe they're going to take it to the city council meeting and they're going to hash it out further. Folks, there's too many secret meetings going on in this town. Now, there's going to be private one-on-one meetings. But folks, I'm telling you, when city council members meet, they're supposed to have a notice to the press and invite the press. Was the press invited? Normally in city council meetings, they say things like, well, let's have a committee meeting of sorts, and councilman so-and-so and councilman so-and-so, y'all get involved, and 2 or 3 or 4 city council members will be in a meeting. This may be a subsequent meeting, a sequential meeting to some other committee that was formed. And if the press was invited, then I guess they're legal. Folks, this involves the police department. I don't mind giving you that much. And I have to ask the question, where was the police chief? I'm being told he was out of the country. I'm being told he might have been out of town. Either way, he was out of state, regardless of whether he was in the country or in Chicago or where. What is going on whenever meetings regarding the police department are occurring while the police chief is gone? What is going on? Is there a coup attempt of sorts? Is somebody struggling for power? Or we begin to backstab each other? I'm not sure what's going on. But what I do know is nothing has changed inside our Jacksonville Police Department since the recent election. And quite frankly, I couldn't tell you whether or not anything would have changed had I been elected mayor. We got some serious drama going on inside of JPD, folks. Serious drama. And people are getting hurt. I said in the promotional video, I told you I sent a letter to the editor, Garrick Feldman. If he takes that story, you're gonna want to be interested in that story. Sometimes some people think we have the right fit for leadership. And it's all a matter of opinion. Sometimes we don't. And sometimes it takes time for things to work out, to realize this isn't working out. So we need to divorce and we need to part ways. There is something going on. And I don't want to start I don't want to start throwing out statistics and stuff like that. That's another story. And I don't want to talk about the letter that I sent to the editor today. That's another story. But folks, we have an autonomous organization that is supposed to be serving and protecting our community. And while it's autonomous, it's supposed to come with some sort of oversight and maybe some connections where people know what's going on inside. I don't think we have any connections. I know we've got some city council members that would like to be assigned to the police department, and quite frankly, I can't tell you if they're assigned or not. Where's the oversight for Jacksonville Police Department? I don't want to get into any of the previous news associated with the Jacksonville Police Department, and I didn't really come here tonight to talk to you about the Jacksonville Police Department. But what I'm telling you, and I'm hoping that you'll do, is you'll start paying attention. Now, I know a lot of you are busy. You got kids, you got families, you got school, you got church. I'm busy too. I've got a business and commercial properties, and I've got to maintain investments and make sure that my family is fed, and I got all sorts of stuff going on too. We've got voter turnouts that are ridiculously low. And I was having a conversation with someone just the last day or two, and I think our voter turnouts is ridiculously low because people just don't care anymore. They don't want to pay attention. They don't want to vote. And they're uninformed, and they feel guilty because they're voting because they don't know what to vote for, but they're prepared to turn out for a presidential election. But for the local stuff here in the local area, they're not interested. 2,500 people turn out for mayor's race elections out of 8, 9, 10, 11,000 people. Is there really only about 2,500 people that's interested in the local leadership elections? I know I've said a lot, and I want to keep this short. And I said earlier, I'm not happy. You shouldn't be happy either. I'm not here to make you sad. Folks, I'm turning over rocks. And I'm not going to use the phrase that I used earlier with some other people that I've said. Every time I turn over a rock, I find something that stinks. Y'all be at that city council meeting, 6 o'clock, September 5th. It's a Thursday. The first and third Thursday, excuse me, the first and third Thursday city council meetings. And it's at 6 o'clock. Be aware of that. It used to be at 7, but it's at 6 o'clock. Be prepared to maybe get there early if you want to get a seat. I'm going to line up some people. I think we're going to have a little imbalance going on with this little dispute that there's going to have, that's going to be on city council. Folks, I'm gonna toss out work. I'm gonna go ahead and toss out words and phrases like ethics violations, maybe even corruption, abuse of power. Call me up. 501-837-9794 if you don't have my number. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm not telling you here, but if you don't like what I have to say and you want to threaten me, go ahead, call me up. I'm Patrick Thomas. This is Studio 25. My graphics, I had to wake it up one time. For those of you who don't know, maybe realized, hey, he's got something to say and I'm going to listen to him finally. Ladder Talks is a program that I created. It's a Facebook page for Jacksonville. Arkansas Live is a public group for the entire state of Arkansas. And this video is going into Arkansas Live because while I historically have been trying to protect what's going on in Jacksonville, I'm done. I'm done trying to protect what's going on. I used to say it was nobody's business but our own. Folks, I'm going to make it the business of people in the state of Arkansas what's going on here. Because, like I said, I'm not happy. And I think there's going to be some people eventually start digging into what's going on here in Jacksonville. And I'm going to get some threats, I promise you. I've had threats before. I'm going to get some threats. Y'all have a good evening and join Arkansas Live. You can view it. You don't have to be a member of it. But show support and join Arkansas Live if you want to follow these talks, these commentaries. Join Ladder Talks page. All you got to do is like it. You'll get notifications. Send me a friend request. Join Arkansas AR News. It's a Facebook group. It is a closed group where we try to keep our business here in Jacksonville behind a closed group. Arkansas Live is public. This is going in Arkansas Live. It's going public. A lot of stuff that I'm working on is going to go public. I'm done with all this stuff that's going on here in Jacksonville. I'm getting ready to name names. Y'all have a good evening, and we'll see you next time either on Ladder Talks or Arkansas Live, both of which comes from Studio 25. Have a good day.